since your first time. Open up and let your heart flow. Dare to be different, show 'em how to go. Of course they gon' hate, that's a part of life. But that's when you really know you're doing right. They like to keep it classy, you don't need to fight. Just kidding them with the 6. Hello Pisces, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a reading for you guys for what you need to know right now. If you find that these messages resonate, please leave a like and a comment, subscribe. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for all the love on any of my previous videos. Definitely means a lot. Everything is in the description down below, so if you need to book a personal reading or follow me on Instagram if you feel like it, everything's down there. I'm going to start off by pulling some animal oracle cards for you from the Wild Unknown deck, from the Wild Unknown or Animal Spirit deck, and then we'll get into the tarot cards to see what messages they also have for you. So fittingly, you have a water sign that came, or a water energy that came up for you, and it is the octopus. So what does the octopus say? Reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. So right off the bat, I was about to call you Aquarius, Pisces, you guys definitely, depending on placements and just in general, right? Like sometimes you have a problem with boundaries, with people respecting your boundaries or you implementing them. And from my experience with certain Pisces, they need a lot of direction and guidance when it comes to certain things. So like there could be something here where you are needing a little bit of guidance, a little bit of direction, right? There could be needing to implement some boundaries, and there may have been some that you have learned recently, or some of you are, you know, you're still trying to learn what those boundaries are, and you're learning how to put them in place with, you know, the people in your life, or even new people, or even strangers, right? Reaching and yearning, so there could be some things that you are literally like reaching for, like trying to attain a goal in mind or of some sort like that. Yearning, there's something that you are wanting. There's something that is definitely like the object of your eye, of your affection, or something like that, that you really want. And so the octopus signifies a wonderful perceptive mind paired with the lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that's what makes, but excuse me, oh my gosh, I can read, I swear. They believe that this is what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, it is the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm, and it may be a very old habit needs to change. When in balance, it's interested, engaged, intelligent. When out of balance, needy, clingy, lacks courage to bring back into balance, space to oneself, and talk therapy. So yeah, so let's see what that has. Let's see what the cards have to say about that. So there definitely needs to be some implementation of boundaries here. Could be dealing with, you know, if you're currently in a relationship, you may need to learn to express those boundaries, right? What makes you uncomfortable? What makes you happy? What doesn't make you happy? And that goes with any relationship, honestly, not just romantic. Actually, I'm going to start off with the Everyday Tarot first. So, implementing boundaries. And then even octopus, he has so many hands. You could have a lot of hands and a lot of different things. You could just be very busy as well. Let's see. What do my Pisces need to know? What's this? Here's the Ace of Wands. Okay. So you need to know that there's a spark, a new spark that's coming for you. There's something that's going to bring new life into your reality, into your journey here. The Ace of Wands could even be about sex. So maybe for some of you, there could be some sexual boundaries that need to be implemented. You need to know not to be afraid to implement those sexual boundaries, because that's a really touchy thing, right? It can be a really touchy thing. So, but it's all about what makes you comfortable. It doesn't matter what makes your partner comfortable. It's all, to me, it's like if you don't feel comfortable in an intimate setting with like your partner or just anybody that you're interested in, right? You need to let them know. You know, no means no. You know, this is how you do it. This is how I like it. This is what I don't like. This is what I'm not comfortable with. And then maybe there is even just a new spark of inspiration that allows you to implement these boundaries. We have your energy here. Page of Cups. So a student card, my apology card, the artist card. You need to know that somebody could be coming to you to apologize and wanting to start new. And then that may be where for some of you, where a boundary lies, because this person maybe likes to come around and always likes to apologize for certain things, but nothing never really changes. Or it's like they apologize and they want to start anew, but it's like, but you already know how this person operates. You already know like this person's tactics or something. So it's like, okay, I need to keep my boundaries up, because if I allow them to come in and apologize or even have that dialogue with me, it's just going to be the same thing. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like, when it comes to boundaries, right? This may not even be boundaries that you need to implement. It could be other people that need to implement boundaries with you. You know, it's always vice versa. So take what resonates. But someone here doesn't know boundaries, doesn't respect boundaries, possibly. And it's all up to you and to let them know that, hey, like, this is not okay. You can't keep coming back around saying sorry for these things that you have said before or that you've done before, and it just doesn't change. It's always the same thing. We have the Magician card. So like things could just be popped. Oh, here we go. Six of Wands. So Six of Wands and a Magician card. If it was like a regular reading where I'm like, you know, this is necessarily like what you need to know right now kind of thing, right? I'd be like, okay, this is the manifestation that brings you some sort of recognition or whatever, right? But I feel like somebody is coming back around and putting you on a pedestal, or like you could be putting somebody on a pedestal or something like that. Because even when I was like, this could be somebody apologizing, you, the Magician is about the element of surprise. So this could definitely be like the element of surprise, somebody just coming out of nowhere and like love bombing you. Oh, you know, maybe like love bombing you or whatever, because like they're putting you on a pedestal, right? So this could be somebody who apologizes to you and love bombs you and tells you, you know, you're the best person. You know, I didn't mean to hurt you like that. You're so nice. You're the only one that cared, and blah, blah, blah. Then you have the Ten of Swords here. So this is something that's ended. This could have been something that's ended a lot of times, right? There's a lot of swords in his back. So this could have been multiple times that something has ended. This could also be something that is like a slow burn, right? A slow death. Where it always seems like no matter what, it's just like maybe every time this person comes back, there's always like, maybe it always feels like another knife in the back, right? Because this person keeps coming back and it's like, what do you want from me? You know? And maybe you need to just tell them like, hey, leave me the F alone. Like, I don't want you in my life. I don't want you to contact me, communicate with me, anything like that, right? And being firm on those boundaries. Eight of Cups, walking away emotionally, detachment. This is underneath the Ace of Wands. So for some of you, this could have been somebody that you were intimately involved with, where it's like, okay, now this can't happen anymore. It could have been like a friends with benefits kind of situation. Or it could have been somebody that you were that you were really into, that you guys were, y'all both had like a thing going on, but it was just maybe a sexual connection, right? There was just a lot of passion, and then now it's just kind of like maybe you come to realize they don't respect your boundaries, they don't respect the requests that you give them to, back off, or if you're not in the mood, or I don't know, something, right? And it's like you chose to walk away from this and emotionally detach from them. And it's funny, you have the Eight of Cups and you have the Octopus. The octopus has 8 legs, right? So, or 8 arms. You have the Eight of Cups. It's cool. Then you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords with the Page of Cups. Yeah, like I kind of get, like, I heard like laid to rest. So like either this is somebody trying to lay something to rest with you, like they're coming back to apologize, to like put the past in the past and leave it, let's just put these things down and let's just move forward, and let's just be how we used to, or something. Others of you, this could literally be like you walking away and laying this shit down, right? And not allowing this person to keep continuing to contact you, ending this connection in general, because you do have the Ten of Swords here as well too. Then you have the Sun. That's underneath the Magician. For some of you, maybe it might be an initial like happiness when this person reaches out to you. For some reason, like maybe it's like, how we have those we have those kind of like toxic kind of like relationships or connections, where it's like, this person isn't good for you, but you're kind of happy that they reach out to you and say something to you anyway, but you already know how it's gonna go. So you kind of just like, yeah, like I'm happy, or like, I feel this, whatever, I have this feelings towards you, but yet I don't want this to become anything else, because I already know how this is going to play out. There's no respect of boundaries here. There's no respect. But I think once you let this go, and this could be, honestly, I feel like this is the last time, because with the Eight of Cups, there is some sort of emotion that was there, right? And now you're walking away from it, so there had to be some sort of level of attachment that was there before you can disconnect completely from it and walk away. So like, you walking away each and every time, I feel like, because that's how I kind of feel, right? With the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Cups, it's like each and every time that this person came back, maybe you entertained them, but then you walked away from it. But this time, it seems like you're not really entertaining it. You're actually going to keep your boundaries, and you're really going to just be like, look, I don't want you coming around. Like, this isn't what I need. This isn't what I want. Magician can also be a trickster energy, right? A player. And maybe this person actually, even if you do think that they're a trickster or they're a player, or, they're manipulative, to some degree, I think they do have emotions and feelings for you. It's just that they have a whole bunch of shit that they need to work through before they can ever be really committed to anybody and really be their full authentic selves. Even, but even manipulators, their true authentic self is to be a manipulator, right? So you can't always just believe in the good things and the good qualities that they show you. It's also in the way that they end things, the way that they come back, the way that they communicate. And like I was saying, like, they could be love bombing you when they come back around. It could make you feel happy, but then like once you get over that initial high of like this person coming back and love bombing you because it feels good, you're like, nah, this can't happen. anymore. So many cards keep falling out. Oop. Okay, we have the devil. So like I was saying, and this is underneath the Six of Wands. So like I was talking about earlier, like this person could be love bombing you. It could be very like manipulative. And like, yeah, this person makes you happy, but it's almost like they're the devil as well, right? And like, and the devil can also, you know, it can represent toxicity, and you know, being like bound to somebody, being controlled. But it also could be like sexual addictions, or well, it could be addictions, but you know, sexuality and sexual nature. You know, the primal nature can also be what the devil can represent here too. Anything that is sinful, you know. But yeah, there's like I was talking about earlier, this could, you know how we have those toxic connections and stuff like that. This person could definitely just be one of those people where it's just like a toxic ass connection that you just do not need in your life, Pisces. And then maybe because you are a water sign, you know, Pisces, you tend to be very like empathetic to people, and you connect with people emotionally, or you can probably like see and understand where somebody's emotional wounding comes from, and you play into that. But then that also just gets you hurt at the end of the day, and you can't allow yourself to. You can't always allow yourself to be empathetic to everybody. You know, you can understand and feel, you know, what somebody else feels, but you don't necessarily have to be there to help and heal them. But yeah, I definitely get love bombing with the Six of Wands and the devil. Like I was saying earlier, that really kind of just plays up that energy for me. Manipulative. I don't like it. Two cards. We have the Page of Swords and we have the Seven of Swords. So again, more of that like sneaky, secretive energy here. Somebody watching you with the Page of Swords. Is this on my card? Somebody watching you being analytical, right? And then Seven of Swords being, you know, deceptive, sneaky, keeping things from you, lying, cheating, stealing. So this is somebody that's just not good for you, but you definitely have a very compassionate, a compassionate side for them, and also a very passionate side for them. You know, whether it's sexual, whether you just have a lot of feelings for them, or between you two, or whatever. It's definitely a lot of that, but it's toxic. And I think you're realizing, even if you haven't realized it yet, Pisces, maybe this is something that you're realizing now with this person. And then now that you actually realize it, you allow yourself to be like, I'm not taking any more of this. I'm putting my foot down. I'm not going to be manipulated. I'm not going to be pushed into something that I don't really want to do, or manipulated into something I don't want to do. 18. I just saw the Six of Wands again. But then the Lovers fell. So definitely this is somebody, this could be a karmic situation. I don't ever really say that with my readings. If you've seen any of my other readings, I don't really mention like karmic or twin flames or anything like that. But this definitely could be like a karmic situation, twin flame situation between you. I really feel like it's more of a karmic though. And this is a connection that's supposed to teach you boundaries. Seven of Pentacles. This could have been somebody you invested your time into and it didn't really go nowhere. You were always waiting for more. but you never got that. You have 10 of Cups. So, yeah. It's definitely somebody that you've had a lot of feelings for. And I can also take that as if you if you put in the effort to put those boundaries up and establish them, this is where you could be. You could have this 10 of Cups. You don't have to be stressed and worried about being taken advantage of and manipulated, because you know how to handle yourself and how to establish your boundaries. And once you already learn that, you won't ever regress. And depends, but you won't ever have to worry about like making the same mistake again, because this situation made you wiser, and you will never have to worry about whether it is you're making a right or wrong choice, because you already know what choice to make. And your happiness comes first. And then you have the 8 of Wands, which kind of brings me back to that apology. Like somebody's reaching out for an apology, to apologize to you. You can even be establishing these boundaries with the quickness. Like you're like, oh, I already see where this is going. All right, stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Like, we're done. Let's get one more. Write this on up. Oh, we have a card that fell. You also have, I was just about to say, you have a lot of 8s, but you only really had the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Wands, and then I was thinking about the octopus with eight arms, right? But then you have the 8 of Swords that fell out. So this is definitely a situation that has made you feel like you couldn't, like you were just trapped and you were blind, right? There may have been a lot of things that you were blind to with this person. And I think this next go around, which brings me back to the whole karmic thing, the reason why they keep coming back around is because they're karmic, and there's something that you have to learn, there's something that you have to establish and say to this person to officially end this for good. And there may have been things throughout these different iterations of this connection that you haven't seen and that you were blind to, but now, and even a self-imposed prison, right? You could have been allowing yourself to be entrapped in this cycle, in this situation with this person because it feels good, but now you're like, all right, I can't do this no more, and now you're actually taking off the blindfold and you're actually going to end it the way it needs to end, so that way they understand that you are no longer a pawn and an option to them. And you will establish these boundaries, and then you will be able to be free. And I think you most likely want to be free of this person, but we can't control who communicates with us, who reaches out to us. We can only really counteract that with like maybe blocking them, or essentially just blocking them. And whether they want to make a new account, make a new whatever, that's up to them. That just shows how desperate they are. But you need to know that you don't need to engage with this person, and you're not going to engage with this person because those are your boundaries. And eventually they'll get the hint. When you stop responding and you start putting your foot down, they'll end up catching the hint, and they'll take on somebody else, or they'll go somewhere else and bother someone else and have nothing to do with you anymore. Yeah. So that's all I have for you, Pisces. So if you found that was helpful, definitely leave a like and a comment. Tell me how it resonated if it did. I greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time.